There's a little bit of a focus in a purpose-driven life, or purpose-directed life, or a life filled with purpose. But if I use those words, life filled with purpose, remember the purpose exists. It might not exist clearly to you, but it exists because God exists. If you take, I'll be with you. Okay. If one thinks about creation and the whole act of creation, it starts with a thought. And then the whole idea of a thought is that it will address a specific need. And then we start to make it real by bringing it into our external environment, or into the physical, the real, the touchable, the smellable, the tasteable, by creating most probably a prototype. And then we start to refine the prototype until it works exactly the way that we had in mind from the beginning for this product or service or whatever. And I think that same process was followed by God. He had you in mind. Remember, He has been forever. But just for argument's sake, let's say that is 1 billion to the amount of die mag tot another billion, tot die mag another billion, because we understand billion. And tot die mag toe we understand. But He's been there forever. That we don't really understand because we're confined by time. So let's say He's been here 1 billion to the amount of billion to the amount of billion years He's been around. He has been. That's the God I serve. From that time, He had me in mind. He had you in mind. He had everyone in mind. Then, by His wisdom, at one point in time, He knew that which He had in mind need to surface, need to manifest, need to be real in a tangible world. And you were born. You're not just the result of two people called a mother and a father, which wanted to have a good time, and eventually also babies. And they said, let's do it. And now you're a result of that. They are instrumental in the fact that you were born. But they are not the main holders, keepers of you, of designing you. God is. He remains the source. So He thought you up. He designed you. He wanted you. And He used your parents through a whole generation upon generation of people that brought about children, and they brought about children when they grew up, and they brought about children when they grew up, and eventually it came to your parents, and they had children, and you were born. So you came a very long way. I would guess I have been forever. I existed eternally. Because in the beginning, before I was born, I existed in the mind of God. And then I was born. Now I exist in a bodily form. And this will most probably go on, in my case, I hope it doesn't extend beyond another 30 years. But if it goes for another 30 years, I'll die at 81, and then I'll return to Him and exist further in a different state, I don't think, with this body. We have primarily three. In the broad picture, 3 states of being. Being in the mind of God, designed by Him for His joy and relationship with Him. Then being born, having a very short time on this planet of nowadays 70 to 80 years, if you get there. But then you keep on existing and living, but in a different form again with Him. Most probably in a glorified body of some sort, which I do not know really how it looks or how it's going to look, but it's going to be great. Because there you will have the opportunity to look Him in the eye in a more real sense. And talk with Him in a more real sense than what you might experience currently. But for the 70 odd years that you are here, if you do not discover the reason why you are here, in other words, your purpose, then these 70 years will be, and I dare to go there and say, would be a waste. Same to your clients or for your clients. If you and I do not encounter them and in that realization see that they need to connect with deeper things need to connect with their purpose, then maybe we're not giving them everything that they need when they come to us and engage with us and we journey with them. We need to help them. You need to see your purpose. I need to see my purpose. My client needs to see his purpose. We all need to understand our purpose.